Do you think more people are going to support Trump now in the hood
like
or
Trump.
no?
Yeah, they support him in the hood. Because at first, I don't think people was fucking with him like they thought he was racist, saying little shit and, you know, against women. But once he started getting black people out of jail and giving people their free money, oh, baby, we love Trump. We need him back in office.
Hey guys, so I put another compilation together of the black community showing their support for President Donald J. Trump, or the Republican Party, or another party entirely from the Democrats. Now, if you haven't seen it yet, I already made a compilation not too long ago, and I'll leave a card at the top if you want to check that out. But in this video, in addition to making another compilation, I added a clip from Chado Jackson, who goes into detail as to his thoughts on why the black community, in particular the hood, is swaying towards wanting to vote for Donald Trump. Now, you see the situation right now with the migrant crisis and migrants going to NYC, and in particular Chicago, and you see that the black community in Chicago are complaining about all these migrants going into their city.
Hours before the meeting, neighbors held a protest outside, blasting the plan.
We ain't having that, no. You want to tell us what to do in our park? You cannot do that. We pay our money.
Some calling for more transparency from the 5th floor.
And what I want to say is to Mayor Brandon Johnson, we are disappointed in you. This is the community that supported you. How dare you?
City leaders tried explaining the decision, but the crowd did not want to hear much of what they were saying.
My name is Beatriz Ponce de Leon. I'm the Deputy Mayor for Immigrant, Migrant, and Refugee Rights.
And if you think it was loud inside, it was just as rowdy outside because many people were not allowed in because they reached capacity.
We're not here to dismiss your feelings.
Feelings and emotions ran high by the fact, once again, the community was blindsided that migrants were moving in, an ongoing theme by the Johnson administration.
Our tax bills are paid into the Park District. Nobody asked us for permission. Nobody asked us how we felt about it.
We have a hard no for immigrants coming in, a very hard no.
We come in a community of black people where we already get the low scraps. And then you want to take the little scrap, the resources that we have, and put us at the bottom of the barrel? That's not fair, and I won't have it.
But a lot of those same people voted for the current mayor of Chicago, who is allowing this to happen. So when it comes to Donald Trump, is the black community looking towards him because of conservatism? Whether it's being anti-abortion, promoting marriage, a husband and wife in the home, raising children and not having children out of wedlock, against LGBTQ, this whole agenda that's been pumped into the schools and to our children? Or is it because of stimulus checks or PPP loans? Or because the candidate has the same skin color as the voter? Or because they have a D next to the name for Democrat? You decide. Now, I'm gonna give my analysis at the very end, but I'm gonna leave timestamps below. Before we begin, please like this video to let me know that you like this sort of thing. If you want to see more compilations like this, not just from the black community, but also from maybe the Asian community or the Latino community. Also, share this video and subscribe, hit the notification button to notify the future videos. And let's begin.
Yeah, that a little bit of free money goes a long way.
We need them back. Because, baby, them checks. Oh, yes, them stimulus checks. Trump, we miss you.
That's like Whoa Vicky. She's always talking about Trump. You see her ever?
I like Trump. No, I ain't never seen Whoa Vicky.
She's funny.
I love Trump, though. He funny to me. Like, I used to watch his interviews, not interviews, like him talking to people. He used to be calling people fat.
Yeah.
He just bold.
Wow.
He funny. Like, we need people like him.
Donald Trump.
The guy.
Trump for life?
The guy.
Saving America?
Saving the world, bro.
Yeah? By the way, Trump is not a racist. I just want to hear his up still.
No racist.
I don't think Trump's racist either. Here's why.
Go ahead.
Here's why. Because in, I believe, the 70s,
friend
he was the first person to open up his clubs to blacks and Jews. So that much I know.
Hit him with facts.
Black-owned businesses and Hispanic were the highest they've ever been on
You're
record.
right. That's true. Booming.
That's a fact.
Booming.
He passed jail reform, which gave inmates, which are predominantly black,
That's also
gave
true.
them a second chance at life. What the hell has Biden done for black people? What have Democrats done for black people?
Obama was in power.
Yeah.
Problem with the Russians.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Russians went over there and took Crimea, no?
Yeah.
Trump came in power.
Yeah.
No problems with the Russians.
Bless.
Or the North Koreans.
Bless.
Or the North
They
Koreans.
didn't fire one missile.
So, a couple years ago, Candace Owen was even Donald Trump was super hated by the black community. Like, I remember, like, maybe this is like early 2016. She did like a Revolt summit with Killer Mike, T.I. I think it was for Revolt. It was Diddy's platform. And at that time, she was on there arguing with T.I., like going against Donald Trump and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But black people hated Candace Owen at one point. You know what I'm saying? They hated Donald Trump. So now, fast forward 2023, it just goes to show you how bad the Democrats are doing right now, where everything has completely changed, where we're actually looking at Candace like, all right, what you got? You know what I'm saying? We looking at Donald Trump like, what up? We getting another stimulus? So it was like, did the liberals really feel like, you know what I'm saying? Or did the Democrats like, because it seemed like a lot of black people are like turning Republican nowadays. Like, and that was not, yes. Because a lot of black people just inherited or just like grow up being Democrats. So now it seems like it's changing.
But they're naturally conservative though, right? Saying this, right? So saying this, like, most black folks identify as Democrats, but if we just took away, like, in all politics and just ask, yo, like, where do your like values lie? Most black people are conservative, right? They're anti-LGBTQ, like they're God-fearing people, you feel me? And they don't trust the government, right? Like, they're naturally, they're naturally conservative. So, like, it's not that hard to imagine how naturally conservative people are now kind of like transitioning over to.
But what's the cause of the transition is what the problem is, what I'm trying to figure out. Because for all these years, black people been voting Democrat. It's always been black people voting blue. But now all of a sudden, Donald Trump hand out $1,200.
They still are though.
Now everybody all of a sudden like they cool with the red. You know what I'm saying? Everybody trying to vote red this year. So I'm trying to figure it out. So like, you think like what do you think is the real issues that the Democrats are doing that's like fucking it up, where they're actually losing their black vote?
I'm a diehard Trump supporter. In my household, you got Martin Luther King, you got Jesus, and you got Donald Trump. Wait a minute. Not in that particular order, but you got Martin Luther King, Jesus, and Donald Trump.
Why you got Donald Trump? Now, you know, I'm straight Democrat, but I'm for the best person.
Yes,
but
sir.
now, why you got Donald Trump?
Because I paid attention in school when I was a kid, and so I know the true history of both the Republican and Democratic Party. I know that they really didn't switch during the Nixon Southern strategy. That one became more clever than the other in dealing with black people. We the Democrats niggas. We got away. We were the Republicans' friends. We was their friends, but we were the Democrats niggas. When you look at the origins of the Ku Klux Klan, it originated out of the Democratic Party.
The Ku Klux Klan?
It did.
Okay.
Every civil rights legislation that ever has been passed in this country was authored, written, sponsored, and voted on 100% by Republicans and not Democrats. Every civil rights legislation.
Well, what you gonna do?
So let me ask you about Trump.
Right.
So as a kid, I remember being 6, 7 years old and seeing Donald Trump receiving an award with Muhammad Ali, Rosa Parks from the NAACP. Not only that, he engaged and interacted in our culture from the 80s throughout the 90s and even the 2000s, from rappers to Michael Jackson. So when we looked out into our culture, his face appeared many, many times. So for me to grow up now and then hear the media, Because before the media started saying he was racist, I never heard a black leader say it. I never heard my grandmother say it. I never heard no one even mention anything bad about him other than rappers giving him praise in over 300 to 600 rap songs. So for the media to say, oh, he's racist, I knew they were playing con on us. And I can remember when America was great. I can remember when black children could play outside all day long and you didn't hear about kids being kidnapped. You didn't hear about drive-by shootings. I remember when black people celebrated Juneteenth. We ate together on Sunday. That was great during those times. So I remember when America was great. And you talking to a 46-year-old man whose first generation kid who got to experience Dr. King's dream of going to school and holding hands and living next door to white people. Black people really didn't do that in the 70s. They done it in the 80s when I grew up.
Well, what we gonna do about Trump when he goes to jail?
He's not going to jail because one thing that's guaranteed to him is a Secret Service protection no matter what. So what prison can he go to with, because he still has to have Secret Service. He's the president of the United States of America. He cannot be in a general population of a prison. Do people really believe that our president, a former president, is gonna go do some time?
I think a lot of black people can't help but wake up right now when it comes to politics. Let's be honest. If the Democrats were for black people, wouldn't black people be doing a lot better up under Biden than they were Trump? Well, this shows that the opposite is true. Think about it. The rent is up 18%. Groceries are up 44%. Gas prices is up 39%. Grain is up 29%. Interest rates for you to buy a house, 7%. All these things hurt the average American. Americans are running out of money. I don't care what race you are, what color you are, your survival is the most important thing. That's why I tell people to not vote off your race. You voting off your personal survival. Even if Biden did something specifically for black people right now, what would it matter if everything else is messed up? What would it matter if you can't buy a house? What would it matter if you can't get any income? Your income doesn't match the inflation. Think of people have to open up their minds right now and see what's really going on. And even white liberals should be able to understand that.
There are many whites who are trying to solve the problem, but you never see them going under the label of liberals. That white person that you see calling himself a liberal is the most dangerous thing in the entire Western Hemisphere. He's the most deceitful. He's like a fox. And a fox is always more dangerous in the forest than the wolf. You can see the wolf coming. You know what he's up to. But the fox will fool you. He comes at you with his mouth shaped in such a way that even though you see his teeth, you think he's smiling and you take him for a friend.
But hey, common sense ain't too common now, is it?
Who is this man? Somebody protect him. He need a whole security squad. They don't want a brother like that telling the truth. That's the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help him God. It don't matter y'all get Kamala Harris in office. I mean, you can't eat Kamala Harris. You can't put Kamala Harris in the electric bill. These are tangible things that are affecting people's lives every single day. Inflation can be reduced. Interest rates can be reduced. But the plan of economic success is on the Republican side. The Democrats are virtue signaling. They want you to be low income. They want you to depend on the government. They want the government to be your God. They want the government to be your baby daddy. When are people going to wake up? They just want power and control. They don't care about the people. All right, go to the next video.
And there's 42% of black businesses closing. None of that money. Where's our fucking bailout? Where's the bailout? Not the PPP loan that they didn't give us. Where's the bailout? I don't want to hear about deficit. I don't want to hear about what our generations gonna have to pay. Because if we don't have shit, they ain't gonna have shit anyway to pay nothing. So we gotta start something right now. Democrats don't seem like they got a plan. Republicans don't seem like they got a plan for us. So how the hell you gonna vote for them? Make them earn that vote. They can start today. They ain't got it yet. They can start today. Make their ass earn that vote, man. Stop playing with these people, and they'll stop playing with you.
Black people are gonna save America from Joe Biden.
Black people always save America. I know that's just what it is.
I don't agree with that part. Black people aren't going to save anything. Let's not. Come on now.
Black people always save America.
Black people aren't going to save anything. That's not a thing that's going to happen in real life. I have a clip prepared, one from the rapper called YG and another from Sexy Red, the female hip hop artist from St. Louis. And the two of them say the same thing in terms of giving reason as to why Black people in the hood in particular are beginning to take a liking to Trump. And the reasons that they give are not reasons that are rooted in principle. They're not reasons that are rooted in morality or in values or anything substantive.
So Black people is like, yo, champ, we might need Donnie back in there. I'm here in the hood. We got tricked.
To think that people who belong to a culture that produces childishness is going to save America for no other reason than that they are tricked. I mean, to me, that's such an asinine thing to say.
Bro, the Black community was not with Trump, you know what I'm saying? But when that PPP and all that came out, Black people forgave him.
Because he helped out?
Yeah.
When YG says that Black people forgave him, don't give a lot of weight or credence to what it is he's saying, because you don't hold the moral high ground to forgive or withhold forgiveness in the first place, because you weren't sinned against. Forgiveness comes after you are sinned against. Donald Trump did not sin against Black people, at least not in the way that the media at the time was convincing Black folks that he did. If anything, Trump needed to save his image in the minds of Black folks, which was tarnished, but not by something substantive that he himself had done, but by the slanderous rhetoric of the mainstream media. And according to folks like YG, according to folks like Sexy Red, which we're about to see here in a moment, he was able to successfully do that. I disagree wholeheartedly with the way in which he was able to redeem himself or save his image in the minds of Black folks.
I'm speaking on the motherfuckers in the hood and shit in the streets. I'm speaking on their behalf. You feel me? Let them tell it. You feel me? That's what they say.
Yeah.
Biden ain't did nothing for us. That Trump passing out money. We with Trump. I'm like, damn, so y'all back with Trump just like that, huh? Niggas like, hell yeah, nigga passing out money. I'm like, damn, that's crazy.
How many conservatives do you know who believes in fiscal responsibility, who believes in the free market, who believes in entrepreneurship and meritocracy, that people shouldn't get out of a thing, something that they have not put in? Like, that's what conservatism is. How many conservatives do you know who are passing out money? That's socialism, is what that is. That's communism. Conservatives don't just pass out money. Now, of course, to be fair to Trump, he didn't exactly pass out money, but he did help to pass the stimulus package and the PPP loans and all that nonsense. And you got a lot of Black people from the hood who are already socialists. I mean, this is proven by the Cato Institute study that was conducted in 2018 that asked the question, which do you favor more, capitalism or socialism? Black people overwhelmingly chose socialism. So most Black people in America are socialists. They just are. Most Black people in America are socialists. This is the reason why election after election after election, they vote for Democrats, because Democrats validate socialism verbally, audibly, more so than the Republicans. Republicans do too, don't get me wrong. And I can give you examples of this. But Democrats are not shy about the fact that they embrace socialism. Since the majority of Black people in America are socialists, according to the Cato Institute study, naturally, they tend to vote for Democrats. And so it becomes a question of who can be the most socialist. In comes Donald Trump. At least I'm telling you, in the minds of these people, you just heard what YG said. Oh, Trump is passing out money. This is the notion or the idea that a lot of Black folks in the hood have. They believe that Trump passed out money. We can get into the technicalities of, well, technically he didn't pass out money. We can get into that. That's a separate conversation. But according to them, Donald Trump passed out money like a true socialist. And this is the reason why we are behind Trump. We're riding behind Trump.
Hey, do you think more people are going to support Trump now in the hood or no?
Yeah, they support him in the hood. Because at first, I don't think people was with him like they thought he was racist, saying look, and against women. But once he started getting Black people out of jail and giving people their free money, oh baby, we love Trump. We need him back in office.
Yeah, a little bit of free money goes a long way.
We need him back.
Again, free money. Once he started getting people out of jail and giving away free money, now we love Trump. Now, what part about that is conservative? And what's that she said about getting drug dealers out of jail?
Once he started getting Black people out of jail and giving people their free money.
A person who is engaging in the selling and trafficking of drugs is not an upstanding citizen. They should be tried and convicted to the fullest extent of the law. They just should. And so for Donald Trump, who is the Republican president of the United States of America, is issuing pardons to people who have been convicted of drug crimes, thus sending the message that it's not that big of a deal. It's not that bad of a crime. What that does is that undermines law and order, because we have due process, we have our penal code, we have, you know what I mean? We have these systems in place for a reason. And the reason is to send a message for those who are considering involving themselves in criminal activity, that if you make that decision to engage yourself in criminal activity, you will be tried to the fullest extent of the law. That is the purpose. That is the purpose of these sentences. Again, law and order, because we want a civilized society. And a civilized society has at its foundation law and order. And so for Trump to, issue these pardons so as to send a dog whistle to the black community that I'm with you, not you shouldn't be quote unquote criminalized, once again, which is a talking point by the left. You are confirming the left's talking points. You are giving credence to their talking points. And you're saying to black folks, look, I can move to the left of the left. I can move to the left of the Democrat Party, thus vote for me. And what tends to happen after this is a lot of Republicans say, yes, we have a lot of people from the hood now voting for Trump. When the right looks like the left, you have a uniparty. We are now beginning to see this kind of voluntary uniparty that's based upon not having a strong sense of moral values, but rather based upon this kind of nod and wink to indulgence, to vice, to frivolousness, and to just backwards culture. And so you might agree or be celebrating. You might be sitting, at work or in your car or wherever you're listening to this podcast, and you might be fist pumping and celebrating the fact that you heard these two people who claim to be representative of the hood say that they are behind Trump, or that they know a lot of black folks who are behind Trump. You might think that's a great thing. But my question to you is, at what expense? At what cost? We already live in a two-party system. And prospectively speaking, the left represents worldliness, this kind of frivolous, do without wilt. There are no such thing as morals. There are no such thing as values. There are no such thing as principles. Prospectively speaking, that's what the left represents. Prospectively speaking, conservatism represents family values, going to church and being frugal with what you spend, and everybody should have a shot at gaining a skill or a talent to compete in the free market. These are the ideas, prospectively speaking, that are supposed to be held by conservatives. But if the premier kind of face of republicanism, who in our day and age happens to be Donald J. Trump, is doing things, at least in the minds of black folks, doing things that are more becoming of socialism than conservatism, then it begs a question as to what is the current state and what is the direction in which the modern conservative movement is going. Is it going to a place where it is going to look indistinguishable from the left? These are the kind of things that I think about. Because they can't win in the culture, they try to win in the political realm. And they do such a poor job at that because they're doing so. They're fighting not with the tools of true conservatism. They're fighting with the tools of leftism. When you fight fire with fire, you just build a bigger fire. They're not coming with an extinguisher. They're not coming with an extinguisher. They're coming with more fire. They want to look just like the left and think that they're going to do something. So if you grow the tent of the Republican Party by looking more like the left, you can have it. You can have it. This is why I don't walk around calling myself a Republican. Because what are y'all doing that is different than what the Democrats are doing?
Now you saw that and you heard the opinions of many from those clips, including Chad Jackson and Ice Cube. Now regarding Chad Jackson's opinion as to why the black community, and particularly the hood, is being swayed towards President Trump being because of the stimulus checks and the PPP loans, he does have a point. Now, in the various clips I found, not just in this video, but my previous video, people have mentioned PPP loans, stimulus checks, money coming in. And that to me says that some, not all, this is not a gross generalization of the black community or particularly the hood, but there are a significant amount of people who are swayed just by a check. Okay, whether that check is helpful or not, who knows? But if you get money in the mail or a direct deposit of a certain amount of money, then it appears that people be swayed. Now, when I mention checks, some of you might be thinking, well, duh, of course someone can be swayed with a check. What I mean is the money more important or the policies more important to the black voter? That's what I'm focusing on. Now, did that money actually help people? I don't know. I'm not sure. But I do know that money's not free. That because of giving out money, we have inflation, food prices are on the rise, gas prices are on the rise, home mortgage rates, as that gentleman mentioned, are, I think, 7 to 8% currently. Not too long ago, it was just below 3%. So a lot of this, I don't think, personally, I don't believe a lot of people like Sexy Red is considering what it means to, give out and dole out money to the mass populace. And when it comes to Chad Jackson mentioning that he doesn't call himself a Republican, but rather a conservative, I understand that. Republicans, to me, are about 5 years behind where Democrats are when it comes to social issues, cultural issues. It's like they kind of put that to the wayside, and you see the results of that. You see the fruits of that. You see what's going on in schools today. You see what's going on in the media today. You see what's going on when it comes to just pick a social topic. The LGBTQ push everywhere. You see what's going on with the gender blocker stuff. All these things right now, they could have gotten in front of the ball on that, but they just kind of just fell behind. And that's one thing Democrats are good at. Their issues that they really care about, they are all in for it, and they're in sync. I think Republicans have gone on the wayside when it comes to social issues, and that's why we are in the state we're in today when it comes to a lot of things. It's people like Sexy Red and Ice Cube, they have a large audience, but I haven't heard either of them, and maybe Ice Cube has. I haven't heard everything he has to say, but at least in that clip, I didn't hear him stress the need for a father and mother in a home, children within wedlock, not out of wedlock, anti-abortion, no socialism, because it seems like they're begging for money, more money. That's socialism. Black on black crime. I don't hear any of that. I just hear the stimulus checks that came in. Oh, we got to vote for Trump now. Is it that easy? If the Democrats one day, because we're in election season right now, if the Democrats said, hey, we're going to give you this much money, are they going to be easily swayed back to the Democrats, back to Biden, or whomever they put out as a front runner for the Democrat Party? It's going to be that easy. Now, on this channel, I'm not for socialism. I'm not for Marxism, communism. I am not for it at all. And real quick about that Cato study that Chad Jackson referenced. That may be accurate. However, I wouldn't put too much stock on the Cato Institute because they're known to juke the stats, so to speak. In one particular case, let me see, like, crimes committed by illegal immigrants were smaller than they really are because they clumped in illegal immigrants with legal Hispanics, put that together, and of course it dropped. But if you take legal immigrants out of that and see just the stats for illegal immigrant crimes, it shoots up. So the Cato Institute may be correct in this particular case, but I wouldn't put too much stock in the overall institute itself. And giving out money, relying on the government to give out money, first of all, do they know how to use that money? Are they fiscally responsible? Are they financially literate? What are they going to use it towards? That, and the fact that if you do give them money, are they less likely to push themselves to want to be successful, push themselves to take that extra step to go out there and do the work? There are plenty of people who are successful who came from nothing, but they did the work and they strived and persevered. So I believe that a lot of people in the Black community are legitimately swayed by the dollar, the mighty dollar. But then you see the migrant crisis happening in New York City, in particular Chicago. You saw the people of Chicago complaining to their constituents about the migrants being in this place and that place. New York, people are complaining that hotels are being full. and that the black community is being overlooked by these migrants. Again, the same people complaining are the same people who voted people like Mayor Johnson into office. But will they still vote for Mayor Johnson again if he just says a few sweet nothings? Or will they educate themselves into seeing, hey, this policy is terrible. It won't work for me. It won't work for my family. It won't work for my community. Get out of office. I want to put this person in who has my best interests, my family's best interests, my community's best interests at heart. Mayor Johnson put out his agenda to everyone. And people, even before he was elected, were saying that he was going to be worse than the previous mayor, but they still voted him in. That one lady in the clip, she was saying that if the community was behind you, why were you behind him? Why? What did he say that swayed you to voting for him? Was it because of what he said? Was it because of the policies he would push forward? Or was it because of his skin tone or his affiliation with the Democrat Party? Why is it that blacks vote overwhelmingly for Democrat over Republican? Now, for me personally, I'm an independent. I see both sides. Both sides have issues. And it took me some time to see what the Democrats were doing because I was politically illiterate. I wasn't really paying attention. You know, I had my moral values, but in terms of politics, I wasn't really paying attention too much. And it took me time to really understand what was going on. And you saw that Charleston White clip where he said he learned his history and he was listing line by line what the Democrats represent and what the Republicans represent. And the Democrats represent a lot of the things that the black community complain about or straight up don't like. But again, it takes time to educate oneself and the willingness to educate oneself to see what's really going on and to really think it through. Because you have a lot of slick-tongued people like Roland Martin, Umar Johnson, Tariq Nasheed, who will tell you a lot of things, but ultimately it's to make you feel like the victim and that you're owed something. We're not owed anything. No one owes us anything. So I want to put this out there because I believe the black community is waking up slowly but surely. The numbers from 2016 and 2020, I believe Trump got 8% of the vote in 2016 and 12% of the vote in 2020. So he is reaching the ears of black voters. However, overwhelmingly, the black community vote Democrat, particularly black women. And that is still an issue. I'm not saying you have to vote Republican, but at least get it out of your mind that you have to vote Democrat and that the Democrats are looking out for your best interests. Because are they really? Are they really? Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like this video to let me know that you enjoy this type of content. Share and subscribe. Hit that notification bell to get notified of future videos. And let's get the conversation going. Comment below and let me know what you think the current state is in the black community and in the hood in regards to the black vote. And until next one, take care.